Hi and welcome to Colourcraft for the Soul. I'm here with my second video, and I think I said last week that I was going to have some crochet in this video, and I have all of these plus 4 more of each colour and design ready to weave in all these ends. It would have been better if I had weaved in the ends each time I complete the square, because there is a lot of squares here, a big stack. Like, let's see if I can get them into all of these. And I think in amongst it, there's only maybe 1 or 2 that has the ends weaved in. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm going to attempt to get 1 or 2 maybe weaved in while we're on this little video together. But there's no way I'm going to get these all done today. So, I mean, that could be in a dream world, but it's not a dream world. So I will just attempt to do this while I kind of chat away to you, and hopefully this video is going to be good enough to post. Otherwise, there may not be a video. It's just the way it is. You know, life happens. We have busy lives. There's always something going on, and anyway, so this week I made 10 of these because I did 5 in each of the 2 colours that I chose for this month. Now this, sorry, I should have actually go back and tell you why I'm doing this and how this all came about. So I love watching Tammy at Crafty Mumpreneur. She's definitely my favourite crochet video creator, fibre artist. I love everything that she does. So she has the most beautiful heart and soul, willing to help anyone and everyone. So she started at the beginning of the year on this project from Yarnivore Makes. It's an Instagram free year-long challenge, and so like everything else that she's probably picked up and started, I've done a lot of. I haven't done all of it because I don't have that kind of time. This is not my full-time life. My full-time life revolves around mainly my home, and partly running 2 appointments for myself and my husband, and yeah, so it's I have a busy life, and then I have my fellowship that I go to a couple times a week as well. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so that is one end done. Actually, I don't want to do that. It just fell on the ground. Anyway, because I'm outside on the patio. So most of my crafting time, particularly my crochet time, is actually spent out here. I love it. I have a beautiful garden to admire, trees, birds to listen to and watch swim in the pond. Actually, that reminds me, I've got to put some water in the pond today. So now, just to let you know, this is like a little bit of me just chatting and about, you know, my day, my week, and whatever's been going on type things. So I don't specifically have a goal in mind for these videos. But I have been thinking over the past few days, since I posted my first video last week, you know, what I would actually like this channel to be. And one of the ideas I had was maybe to have this Thursday be all about whatever crochet projects I happen to be working on. So I had so many different things that I kind of wanted to talk about in relation to crochet this week, and I should have like literally took notes. Oh, there goes that horrible word. Do you shit on yourself? I seem to catch myself doing it, or I should say not catch myself doing it, and then randomly I'll know that I've done it, and I'll be like, oh, there we go again. So I'm just really just pondering exactly what I want to do here, because I want to give back. Ultimately is my goal. I have been following different YouTube creators and channels now for a number of years, since I lost my job, and that was during the end of COVID. They made a heap of people redundant, and you know, since then I've been pretty much, you know, unemployed. There was a lot of time, a lot of healing process to go through, and my husband became really unwell during all of that time as well. So we have a lot of things going on with making sure that everything is okay and he's all good. So but you know, I'm not here to talk about, you know, things like that. I just wanted, like I said, to give back to the community, and just a quick little caveat here. I still have not found anything that will help me learn how to edit. So this video at this point in time to get posted today probably is not going to be edited either. I do know how to use Canva to do the thumbnail-y thing. I just don't know how to attach it to the video. So when I uploaded the video last week, which I just recorded on my phone, I couldn't see an option to add a thumbnail anywhere. So, and because I'm doing it from my phone, maybe there's different features if you were to do it via a computer. I'm not really sure. So I will continue to keep looking out for a creator that I kind of feel like I can understand what they're saying, because, you know, tech has never been something that I've been passionate about. It's always been my craft. It's always been my craft that lights me up. Much nicer. I love it. Actually, I'm really excited about what these squares are going to get turned into, because it's a mystery. And I mean, if you want to check it out, it's probably not too late, because I literally had to play catch up on these squares. I had like 2 months worth of squares to do, and I managed to get all of those done in this past week and a half. Yeah, I think. So I'd already done like 20 or 30, I can't remember. Yeah, it might have been 30. And so I think I'm up to, I think I've completed 50 now. I'm not sure. I'll do a count up, and I'll probably share maybe next week. But as I was sharing before about, you know, following different YouTube channels, And not just crochet, other crafts as well, because, you know, like I've been a crafter my whole life. There's been a lot of different patterns that I've purchased, and are literally sitting in a folder to make. And so part of the reason why I wanted to start doing this channel is because I have a lot of craft supplies. In this case, I have a lot of yarn and I have a lot of patterns, and I wanted to be able to have a way of actioning and completing. That's probably the best way to put it. So I think I shared with you last week, I do go to the occasional little markets. I live in a small regional community, and there's not a lot in the way of markets, and they tend to mostly be on a Sunday, which doesn't fit very well for me, because it's usually what I call my family day. It's my church family day, and so I don't tend to want to be taking away from that quiet day of the week, because I spent many years when I was working not having that, because I always worked 7 days a week. And so I like to take advantage of the fact that I can now actually have that time. And I wonder if I'm going to get, there's another one. Yeah, got that one quite small anyway. Yeah, so I just want a way of basically recording down what I'm doing and getting through all these. So maybe next week I can actually bring the pile, and it's a massive pile of different projects that is still sitting there. I've got patterns I've paid for the patterns, and I have not. Actually, there might be a couple free patterns, but I usually like to support the artists. You know, even if they have a free pattern, I will generally tend to, you know, get the pattern, because I understand and really appreciate the work that goes into, you know, being a creator and having that ability to be able to do different types of art and craft and whatever. So yeah, so that's where I'm kind of at this week, is now I'm just doing all these ends. Oh, the other thing that I was working on this week, and I didn't bring it out here with me, was some wind spinners. So as I shared before, I do go to the occasional little market, and this weekend I'm not able to go to a market that I would love to go to, but my market buddy, so she's lovely, we usually do the markets together. So, you know, that way if one person wants to run around and have a look at all the other vendors and, you know, get something to eat or whatever, they can do that, and the other person is there to watch the tables. So it works out really well. So she said to me, would I like to, you know, just do a few items for the market, not the plushies and the toys and stuff, but other things. So my market bags and stuff like that. So I use the Stephanie Z market bag mostly, but I do have some fruit and what's the other one? Fruit and animal ones that I've done from Nikki's Homemade Crafts. And yeah, so I'm going to pass all of those things along to her. But the last market I did, they were actually asking me for beanies and stuff. Well, I didn't actually have any beanies, but I do have a pretty cool hat pattern. Another one from Nikki's Homemade Crafts, which made me think about it. And they're different animals with the, I don't know what you call it, you know, where they have the air pumps and like the ears all jiggle and wiggle, or different parts of the, you know, the head or whatever. So I have made a couple of those. So I need to probably work on making a few more of those, since it is now coming into the winter season here. Not that it gets overly chilly where I live personally, but this morning was quite chilly. Like, it was probably just a little bit of a culture shock, because we're used to it always being so warm here. And yeah, so, but anyway, not that I'm much of a beanie or a hat person. I just don't really put things like that on my head. Okay, so I need to check on a message that's just popped down on my screen. So I do have my phone on silent, so I'm hoping that it doesn't like interfere with trying to make this video. But anyway, okay, so I think we're going along quite well here. So there's another little end. So I now have this one complete as well. So I'm super happy with that. And yeah, I just really appreciate you guys hanging with me. So I will continue to keep working on all of these, and I've told myself that I am not going to make any more of this project. In other words, the next pattern, the next design comes out in about 3 weeks. So I'm not going to make any more of this. I'm not going to make any more of the new ones that come out until these ends are all woven in. So that is my task that I'm setting myself. Plus I've got to weave in the ends for the wind spinners that are going with my girlfriend. My market bags are already done, so that's really cool. They're ready to rock and roll out the door. And yeah, so I've also done some face washes and little face scrubbies, soap sacks, all of those yummy market things that, you know, people really love and appreciate, because that's the people that are going to be, that's the audience at this market. So they love all the handmade stuff and they really appreciate it. So hopefully I will have a few sales from that, even though I won't be there personally, having my table, my market table. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. And thank you so much for just listening in while I've been just nattering away with probably a lot of rubbish. But like the plan for, one of the plans for this channel is just so that people don't feel alone, and there's someone, you know, else in the world that, you know, they can just hang and chill with, and they don't have to worry about judgment or that kind of thing, because unfortunately there's a lot of that goes on in the world, and a lot of that happens in families and relationships and stuff like that. So I just want to create a really nice, calm, peaceful place for people just to come and hang and chill, whether you craft along with me or you just, you know, grab yourself a cuppa or whatever. I did get myself a glass of water because, you know, I'm a big water drinker. And yeah, I'll have a sip of that in a minute. And thank you so much, and I will see you next Thursday. But I am thinking about doing different types of videos on different days, but not until I master, well, no, I'm probably not going to ever master how to get a video done correctly and edited correctly, and so that it's a lot more fun for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Remember, here's my blooper. Create the change, be the change. Bye for now.